Then these men went as a group and found Daniel praying and asking God for help. That is the end of the reading, and my name is Dennis Okelo Gola, and Jesus is my personal savior since 1975, when I was a small boy of 73. And I, for one, I did not like the salvation because I had so many things in mind which I wanted to do, and I knew that if I accepted Jesus as my savior, he will not allow me to do them. I thank God that God convicted me and told me that all what I was saying, I was deceiving myself and the truth was not in me. God convicted me of stealing, telling lies, and even not accepting him as my personal savior. He directed me that I had to put things right, and I started with my parents, my grandparents, children, and teachers, asking them for forgiveness. And when people saw me doing that, they were amazed and they were shook their heads, saying that I was out of my mind. My view, I have a testimony that being out of my mind, which fell on me when I received Jesus as my personal savior in 1975, I can testify to you that I'm still married until today because of Jesus' salvation. So my viewer, we have read a passage. I've read a passage about the book of Daniel. And this passage is about King Darius, Daniel, and other administrators. So King Darius appointed 120 administrators was to rule throughout the kingdom, and Daniel was among them. So we find that Daniel was a God-fearing man, and even the job which he was given by Darius, he was doing it in a very distinguished way among others. So when people looked at him, the way he was doing things was quite different because he was with God. So my viewer, when you are with God, your fellow colleagues will have jealousy with you because the way you are doing things is quite different. And that is what happened, that Daniel's fellow colleagues tried to make a trap for him. And that is where we find in verse 5 that they were looking for a way whereby they can get a trap for Daniel. And they sat down and they said that the only place where you can get Daniel's is something which is regarding his God. Because they knew that Daniel was a person who was a God-fearing person and could not do anything contrary of what God requires him to do. So that is why the administrators, they ganged up